Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tom Worth Jr. President Trump at Mar-a-Lago yesterday, absolutely stunning remarks about Ukraine and Zelenskyy. He has gone full traitor on the United States and its allies. Lying 4%. I'm not going to take every lie, but every word of it could have been written by the Kremlin, and no doubt, in fact, was written by the Kremlin. And I view this as a test, much like I viewed his historically awful cabinet appointments as a test for Congress, like who's with me and who's against me. I'm going to throw out the absolute worst people imaginable for everything, because I want to know right now who's along for this ride. And with the exception of Matt Gaetz, who was universally thrown out by everyone in Congress, he got everyone through, and only Mitch McConnell went against him. So right from then, he knew that everyone was with him. So last night, I'm watching some comments from Mar-a-Lago, and he says Zelenskyy started this war. 3 years ago, we all knew that Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine, and we were watching the buildup. We shared our intel and publicized our intel with our allies. We let them know about false flag operations that were going to be perpetrated, and all of this came to pass. And all of our allies, the EU, NATO, everyone came to the defense of Ukraine, and it worked. And our global alliance is held for 3 years against Russia. And Donald Trump ran on a basically anti-Ukraine. We all knew he was pro-Russia, but his message to his supporters, who are complete bury their head in the sand types, he put it as hey, we're going to save a buck. We're going to not spend money on Ukraine anymore. And we had that hostage-looking video with Zelenskyy behind him, Trump. And many of you thought that, or many people in general thought that that was a mistake for Zelenskyy to appear with him. And I thought that Zelenskyy had no choice, because there was a chance that Trump could win. Now, I didn't think it would help Zelenskyy at all to appear with Trump. I didn't think that Trump was suddenly going to go against Putin just because Zelenskyy appeared standing behind him in a video, not refuting his lies about a perfect call and all that nonsense, the stuff that got him impeached, one of his impeachments. What Zelenskyy did that for was because he didn't want Trump to have any ammo. He didn't want Trump to be able to say, hey, I knew you were against me all along. Zelenskyy, every step of the way, has done everything he could. He has bent over backwards to try to win over Trump. And there was never any chance of that happening. We look at the list of demands, the list of talking points, the list of things that came out of Saudi Arabia with Marco Rubio leading our delegation. I'm not going to get started on Rubio, but things that came out of this meeting were Ukraine can't join NATO. There won't be any peacekeeping forces there to prevent future Russian invasions. Russia gets to keep all of the territory it has. There are no reparations. Russia's just bombed their country into oblivion. What is the one single thing that Ukraine or even the United States gets out of this proposed, talking points or agreements or whatever? There's not a single thing that not a single concession that Putin's people made or even proposed. There's not even a single thing the United States is saying we are asking for, or that we are asking for on Ukraine's behalf. There's not one single thing in exchange for all of these things that Trump would give to Putin. And in addition to that, he says there's more. There has to be. This is the hugest one of all. There has to be an election in Ukraine. Now, you're not going to have an election right now. He was elected 5 years ago. You're not going to have an election right now. They're in the middle of this war, and any election will be completely taken over by Russia. So you're not going to have that election right now in the midst of all this chaos. Donald Trump said Zelensky's approval in Ukraine was 4%. It's almost 60%. He is just straight lying through his teeth in every point of this. And everybody knows it except for the MAGA idiots who will all of a sudden believe that, oh, did you hear that they're only 4%? Like, they're going to swallow this hook, line, and sinker. But people in Congress know better. People in Congress, this is one of the few things that has had bipartisan support always, since before the war even started, that you need to provide aid to Ukraine to deter and then now fight against Putin's aggression. So these guys all know, they see briefings, they see security briefings. These guys know what's really going on. So every one of those GOP congresspeople knows Trump is lying through his teeth. They know what the real numbers are. And they sat up here and tell the American nation all of these lies, all of these Putin talking points. And they know exactly what he did. What are they going to do about it? Well, someone we haven't heard from in a long time is Mike Pence, someone who rarely speaks out against Trump. And when he does, it's in veiled terms. You know what he's talking about, but he's never going to go against Trump directly. Well, here's what he posted. I guess this was on X. This is Mike Pence. I'm reading it word for word so we don't get any of this wrong. Mr. President, Ukraine did not, quote, start this war. That was another one of his false claims, that Ukraine started this war. Mr. President, Ukraine did not, quote, start this war. Russia launched an unprovoked and brutal invasion claiming hundreds of thousands of lives. The road to peace must be built on the truth, with a capital T. American flag, Ukraine flag emoji. And then he posts the article, Russia invades Ukraine in largest European attack since World War II, posted by Fox News, and the link, February 24th, 2022. And a picture of things burning. And Mike Pence has stood up to be counted on the right side against Trump. Way too late, sure, but you knew he was getting here little by little. He has stood up. He has called out directly Mr. President and called out the lie. What are the GOP congresspeople going to do? Well, we saw what Marco Rubio tweeted out. He's going right along for the ride. I haven't seen GOP people come out strongly against this. Saw Maria Bartiromo on CNBC, who is a Trumper, saying, oh, well, when did this shift happen? When did he become aligned with Russian interests? Wow, that's crazy. So she's come around. There are smart people who, to protect their own interests, know what's going on and they won't say anything about it. I think this will change that, and it better, because this is such a dangerous path right now, because we have crossed the line from maybe not sending Ukraine aid to maybe not sending as much aid to NATO, to, well, how about we just don't even have any American troops over in Europe at all? These are all lines that were crossed last week. To now, what are you talking about? You're talking about aligning yourself directly against Volodymyr Zelenskyy. And the next step in that is to what? Send jets, send fighters, launch cruise missiles at Ukraine from U.S. ships and U.S. planes? Is that the next step? Does the president need Congress's authorization for that? Yeah, he does. But what if he just does that? What is Congress going to do? If the United States flat out attacks Ukraine, which may be the next step. I'm not exaggerating here. There is no such thing as exaggeration in this time. Everything is on the table. You had the President of the United States openly espousing all Kremlin talking points and bald-faced lies to the American people last night. And nobody's doing anything about it from his party. I'm pretty fired up about this. Like every line that is crossed, there's always another one. And I'm just looking a few steps ahead, wondering when we are launching airstrikes ourselves against Ukraine. I don't know, but it's not out of the question. And until these Congress people start saying things, start speaking up against what Trump is saying here, I don't know. This is a dark day. This is just a dark day, and I don't have anything to go with this. I was going to talk about Eric Adams and some maybe the governor, maybe removing him. That would be fraught. It's never happened before in New York State history. Just pales in comparison to what the president said at Mar-a-Lago. Why is he at Mar-a-Lago? Because he was golfing. Where was he the day before that? He was golfing. Where was he the day before that? He was at the Daytona 500. This is our president, and this is what we need to know, and this is what we need to look for our Congress people to stand up and speak out against. At the very least, say, we don't agree, or we think he might have his facts a little mixed up. Just say something. But I've seen silence, and it's discouraging. That's it for today's video. I will speak to you all later tonight, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.